Hello, ladies and gentlemen, JR Chunks 21 here, and as you guys can tell probably by my little setup here, we've got a deck profile for you, and I'm gonna move stuff around so we get it in the camera light. I'm still trying to get this all set up. At some point I'll have an actual studio or something, but this is not one of my normal deck profiles. I would not recommend taking this to a locals or any tournament, really, for that matter. This is kind of what you really want a cheap, budgety deck. Cause I literally bought this at one point. I bought a bunch of stuff, and I ended up getting I think $40 TCG player credit, and I got as high a rarities as I could for the deck, for a lot of the stuff in here, and I bought it. I like the deck. I like the character that uses it from the anime. He's actually one of my favorite characters of 5Ds. So we're gonna get into this, but first and foremost, you guys are probably gonna be able to tell because the title and the thumbnail and everything, but it is Infernitys. It's not a deck I would recommend taking if you're trying to win. It's just for fun, or if you really want a really nice version. I do have I would call it a pseudo side deck in my deck box, but it's more of cards I ordered that I didn't want to put in here. This is exactly 40 cards. But we'll start with the extra deck. Starting with a lot of the stuff I already had, so Topologic Gumblar Dragon. It's a really good card. It does let you rip stuff out of your hand. I'm mostly playing it because it has a discard, and it's Infernitys. We don't like to have hands. We don't... Ew, hands. So really good in this deck, just to get rid of your own stuff, mostly. If you haven't seen my video on Gumblar Dragon, link, you can watch that here. So after that, we've got 2 copies of number 39 Utopia. We do play some level 4s, and with that we play S39 Utopia the Lightning. Really nice to just, you know, you got a 5k beater, you gotta beat over whatever you're dealing with. As I said, this is what you might play with your friends at the table while you're waiting, while you're waiting for your class to start. So yeah. That's what I recommend with this. So, this is our extra deck. We got Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. Another good level 4 that just lets you beat over your opponent's stuff. So, not a bad guy. Phantom Knight's a Break Sword. We are playing level 3s. It's nice. Easy. Next we have the 3 cards we see the main guy who uses this deck, Callan Kessler, use. Infernity Doom Dragon, 100 Eyes Dragon, and Void Ogre Dragon. Now, you might be able to tell with how warped this is. Let's see if I can show it to you. As you guys can see, this is really warped. I've had this for years, and I always try to splash it in a deck because I like it. I love Callan Kessler. Didn't know he used a Void Ogre Dragon. So I ordered one of those, and I ordered a Doom Dragon. So, those are our synchro monsters. Honestly, 100 Eyes Dragon, if you're trying to go into the big boss in the main deck, which is our Earthbound Immortal, Void Ogre for effects, and Doom Dragon just for whatever. I almost always go into 100 Eyes whenever I did practice with this. So next we're going to go into our spells. We got 2 copies of Zero Max. Zero Max is not bad. You can only activate it if you have no cards in your hand. Select one Infernity monster in your graveyard, special summon it, destroy all face-up monsters on the field with attack lower than the special summon monster. So what you do is you summon Infernity Doom Dragon, which has an attack of 3,000. So you special summon it and destroy all monsters with attacks lower than this. The issue is you can't activate your battle. You can't engage your battle phase the turn you activate it. So we only run 2 copies of it because it can be a bit of a brick. With that, we also run 1 copy of... I thought I ran more than one of them. Yeah, we do. We run 2 copies of Terraforming to get to our field spell. Field spell isn't big on this, and Terraforming is semi-limited, so we only run 2 copies, and we only run 1 copy of the field spell, because Infernity does not have a its own custom field spell. I would love this deck to get more support, like a whole bunch of support to come out for it, because I really love Callan Kessler from the anime. We've got 1 copy of Wave Motion Inferno and 2 copies of Infernity Launcher. Wave Motion Inferno, well, you have no cards in your hand. Face up Infernity monsters gain 4 and an attack. You can send this face up card from the field to the graveyard and send all cards from your hand to the graveyard. So what you do is you activate it. If you really need to get your effects off, you blow your own Wave Motion up, and it lets you pitch all of your cards in your hand. So really good for starting your combos. Next we've got Infernity Launcher. You can send 1 Infernity monster from your hand to the graveyard. And then you can send this card to your graveyard, special summon up to 2 Infernity monsters. You must have no cards in your hand to activate and resolve the second effect. Meaning, what you'll do is you'll use these 2 in conjunction. If you have a really stacked hand, like if you have Beetle and Archer or another level 6 Infernity monster, you'll use Motion Inferno to blow up your hand. You'll activate this, send all your cards in your hand to the graveyard after setting this. Then you activate Infernity Launcher, send it to the graveyard to select 2 Infernity monsters and special summon them. It's kind of a neg, but in this deck, a lot of the stuff likes to be sent to the graveyard, so it's not really a neg in my opinion. If the cards usually come back from the grave right away, which a lot of them do. Our field spell, the Gates of the Dark World. Fiend monsters gain 300 attack and defense, and you can banish 1 Fiend monster from your graveyard to discard and draw 1 card. Works better in Dark Worlds, but it works kind of in this just from extra beating power and the draw power. Card Destruction. This, you kind of want to use it if you know your opponent is going to be playing something that stops you from drawing. So you use this so you pitch your hand. So, or you can just mill your hand, mulligan your hand. Dark Hole. Got to clear the field somehow. And Monster Reward. So those are our spells. As I said, this deck isn't super competitive, and it's never going to be. At one point, it was winning events way back when, but most of those people, from what I've read, were cheating. They were setting their hand, and there were monsters, so they were pretending. So, next up, we've got Infernity Force. Activate only when an Infernity monster is selected as an attack target while you have no cards in your hand. Destroy the attacking monster and special summon 1 Infernity monster from your graveyard. We only run 1 of them. Don't want any more. It's a brick. Infernity Inferno. Discard up to 2 cards. Send the same number of Infernity cards from your deck to your graveyard. Good middle effect. Good discard effect. Infernity Barrier. Really good counter trap. When your opponent activates a spell or trap or monster effect, you can, while you control a face-up attack position, Infernity monster, and have no cards in your hand, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. Really, no downside to this other than having no cards in hand, which, if the deck works, that's easy. Infernity Reflector. Activate only by discarding all cards in your hand. When an Infernity monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, select and special summon that monster from your graveyard and inflict 1,000 points to your opponent. So, once again, 2 copies of most of the stuff in this. 2 copies of that, just because discard your hand. And our favorite, Phantom Hand. Once per turn, if you control a face-up Infernity monster, you can remove from play all cards from your hand face down until your end phase. Until your next standby phase. So that is your only continuous trap, and you want to protect that as much as possible because it is going to let you just every time you want to activate your stuff, you're going to want Phantom Hand. So next up, we've got our big boss of the main deck, Earthbound Immortal Kikapakapoo. I love saying that name, Kikapakapoo. So really love him. He's your typical Earthbound Immortal. I'm not going to read off his effect. You got Infernity Dwarf and Infernity Avenger. Avenger is your tutor, and Dwarf is a level 2. Both of which have the standard no cards in hand effect somewhere on him. So, Dwarf, while you have no cards in your hand, during battle between an attacking monster you control and a defense position monster whose defense is lower than the attack of the attacking monster, lets you do piercing damage, essentially. These are all one-offs right now. Infernity Avenger. When a monster you control, except Infernity Avenger, is destroyed by battle, an opponent's monster and sent to the graveyard. While you have no cards in your hand, you can special summon this card. So, and he level modulates, so he's not bad. I apologize, guys. My throat is getting a little dry. Still a little sick. Your main tutor, and the reason we run him at 3, is Infernity Beetle. You can send him to the grave to special summon the other 2 from your deck. So, one that's just dead. Yeah. Up to 2 Infernity Beetles from your deck. So, really good guy. Infernity Beetle is. A low attack power though. And the first of your level 4s, Infernity Archfiend. Level 4, Dark Fiend, 1800 attack, 1200 defense. When you draw this card, if you have no other cards in your hand, you can reveal this card, special summon this card from your hand. When this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Infernity card from your deck to your hand. You must have no other cards in your hand to activate and resolve. So essentially, what you want to do is, because a lot of the rest of the stuff is 2 ofs, I believe. No, most of it's 3 ofs, except. What you want to do is, since most of them have that special summon effect and the chance of drawing him, you want to use this before you use at the start of your draw phase to banish your hand. So when you draw him, you special him, you get you add another Infernity card, such as Infernity Guardian or Beetle, so you can get so you can special, so you sorry, so you can make your Xyz or Synchro summons. So 3 Infernity Archfiends, always gonna run 3. You can probably cut it back to 2 if you really want to and you want to add other stuff. But I run 3 just to kind of be in character. 3 Infernity Guardians. Level 4, 1200 attack, 1700 defense. While you have no cards in your hand, this face-up card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. He's better for defensive, so you probably gonna want to special summon him off of something, but hey, he's not bad. 3 of him, he's a level 4. Infernity Beast, 2 of. If this card attacks while you have no cards in your hand, your opponent cannot activate any spell or traps until you've damaged them. 1600 attack, 1200 defense, Dark Beast. I don't really like Infernity Beast. I run him, but he's by no means what you really want to go into. I just let him open. Give me a second. Just 1 sec. I'll be right there. Sorry about that. 3 Infernity Archers. They're level 6. No cards in hand. He can attack directly. He's got a really bad stat line for a level 6 with 2000 attack and 1000 defense, but that's not what we're after. As I said, you want to send these guys to the graveyard off of your spell card, Infernity Launcher. You want to send them to the graveyard by whatever means possible. Send him to the grave. Him and Beetle. or just have Beetle normal summon and send him to the grave. Then use Infernity Launcher to special summon him back, and then go into your synchro play. Or you can just beat your opponent to death if you're really that desperate. Like if your opponent's locked you out. At that point, you're like, well, fuck it. I'm going to beat him in the head with it. And next, one I didn't actually know we got, Infernity Knight. I believe it's one of the newer support cards. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can discard 2 cards, special summon this card from the graveyard. So, he does not have the standard Infernity effect of having no cards in hand to activate his effect. So, he's probably one of your favorite cards. He's got a really pathetic body, though, so take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, that is our Infernity deck profile. It took us all of about 15 minutes. So, I would recommend, you know, it's a fun little casual deck to play with your friends. Don't think of this as highly competitive, not unless you're gonna cheat, which I don't cheat. But I thought I'd bring you that little deck profile, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for a combo video when I play around with it a little bit more. See you guys next time. Hey guys, so up here on the left, in the top left-hand corner, is our most recent upload. Down below that is the video YouTube thinks you should watch from my channel. And click the crown if you want to subscribe. We're making new content every day except Sunday, so be prepared. And I'll see you guys next time.